Hi, everybody. Welcome. Just getting a little comfortable here. Hi. I am sitting in my beautiful porch in my sunroom. I was out walking my dog a little bit earlier today, and it's actually it's quite nice out here. So I'm just trying to get you some good visual there. It's a bit snowy. You might see it's a little snowy out there. So, hi, gang. Hi. This is Christine here. We have some playtime together. We have some time to have some conversations and to chat and to see what's up and who's on. Hi, Nikki. I thought you might be in the house. I thought you might be here. Yeah, good. Let me make sure I'm clicking the right button here. All right, I think we're good. So I thought that I was going to be able to split the screen here with you so I could also see you, Nikki. I'm not sure. Are you able to put your video on? I don't know if that's an option for you, Nikki. If not, you can just let me know in that chat line. I'm gonna chat in here, see if you can see that. And I'll just see if you can catch that, Nikki. I don't know if that's gonna fly. If you want to be on video, I think we should be able to get that to happen. But if not, that's okay. I may have set it up a little funny or something when I set up the call in the first place. So that actually might be me. Yeah, so good to have you. I'm glad you're here. This is your Joy Nooner. I don't know if you're able to. Oh, no screen split for you. Excellent. Okay, well, don't worry. We won't go scary. But what you can do, Nikki, is you can just type in any questions you have in that feed, and I will see it, and then I can answer your questions. So yeah, it's you and I, which is great. Maybe other people will pop on. I am just going to do a little share for a moment, and we are still recording, so we're going to give people a few more couple of seconds here, maybe 30 seconds to hop online. Yeah, so this is a little 30-minute call. It's a little taster, and it's a chance for me to get to know you guys a little bit more and to fill you in a little on all the good things that are happening in in Cypress Hills, which is coming up in January. So yeah, that's the scooper. So this little webinar is called Be Real. And what the heck does that mean? What the heck does that mean? So be real. So this is where I'm at. This is my journey so far. And if you have any questions, Nikki, feel free to pop them in there and I can answer your questions. And it's kind of cool. So it's just you and I. If other people hop on, great. And if not, you've got me for half an hour, babe. You can ask me anything you want. And it's just us. So that's cool. And so, yeah, be real. So for me, the idea of to be real, prior to maybe 3 or 4 years ago, if I was thinking about being real, I would think that would be, to be myself, to be real, to not be a big faker. And yet there wasn't the depth in that I have now. probably 5-ish years ago, I thought I was being myself. I thought I was being real. And yet there was definitely a part of me that was being who I thought everyone else wanted me to be. So I've created a pathway for myself to get really clear on what being real is for myself and what choices I would make if I was choosing that. And to let go of the fear and all the distractions that can pop up in my head when I think about that. So I'll give you a little backstory about that. So my Kiva studio has been up and running for at least 7 years in January. And prior to that, I had a full-time gig. I was working for corporate. I had a regular job, 40 hours a week. I did it. It was great. I liked it. And then actually my contract wasn't renewed. And in many ways, I was kind of fired. It typically was renewed, and then it wasn't. It felt like I was fired. And then I was invited by the universe to create my life. I didn't want just a regular, I didn't want just a regular job. And I had a job. I had not a regular job. I had a job. It was great. And yet I felt I had more gifts and capacities and skills to offer. And then I was just kind of doing what I've always done. And I might have at that time thought that I was real when I was doing those things. And at the same time, I think I was fitting in. I was fitting in a little bit. And because then people will like me. And then I'll get appreciated because I'm fitting in to what they expect me to do or expect me to be like. And I didn't have that awareness as I have now. So I don't know if that resonates with any of you in terms of fitting in and the choices we make. And so then my job wasn't renewed and my contract ended. And then it was kind of like, wait a minute, I can create my life? Like, I don't have to work for the machine. And I was a little afraid, let me tell you, initially, maybe a lot afraid of not having a regular 9-to-5 job. And there was a whole bunch of points of view about that from other people, like, how are you going to make enough money to save? And what about retirement? And you have no guarantee and all of this fear. And yet I felt afraid and yet very free. And that's what gave birth to the Kiva Studio, of which is now going to be 7 years running in January. And when I first started Kiva, I had the belief that if I had to create this job and this studio, it's a wellness studio, that it would all be up to me, that I had to do all the work, that if the studio thrived, it would be because I'm doing all the work, that I'm doing all the classes, I'm doing all the leading, I'm doing all the facilitating, I'm doing all the networking and the marketing and the emails, and that it's my business, so that means it's my work and it's my job. And I was crazy a little bit. I was having fun. I was choosing what was fun for me, but at the same time, I had this belief that it was up to me and only me to make it work. And so really I wasn't receiving. I wasn't able to receive myself or other people. It was tiring and wasn't really totally joy-filled. There were moments like there was joy and then work and then joy and then work. And so over the years, I've been breaking down my beliefs and my points of view about work and my addiction to work and what success means and what a successful woman needs to look like or be like or how she would express herself. And slowly, I've been creating my own pathway, my own tools that I use to really choose me and be different and create a life and a business that no one can teach me how to do. It's not in a book. I will teach you how to be rich. I will teach you to be successful. It's really been this process of staying in question and asking myself, if I choose this, will it create my life? If I choose this, will it create my business? If I don't choose this, will it create my life? If I don't choose this, will it expand my business? And I have moved from being a woman entrepreneur, running her business, doing a lot of things, but not actually being aware. Like, I did not choose with awareness probably in my first 3+ years of the studio. I was just, I got to create, I got to do so that I can make the money, that the doing would make the money, that the busy would make the money, all of that. And now how I create is very different. I'm creating now. I'm not locked into how something shows up. I am ready to receive that it shows up. And about 2, maybe 3 years ago, the Kiva studio was having a really tight time in the bank account. Things were a little squeaky. And I was panicking that Kiva was going to die and that I was going to live on the road, on the streets. Like, I had this crazy thought of what that was going to be like. And I sat in meditation at my wellness center at my studio, and I just listened to Kiva and asked what she would like me to do for her. And she wanted me to invite more people to play with me. So it wasn't all up to me. And it isn't all up to me. And so that means inviting other people in and being able to receive help and to ask for help and to really invite people who can create even bigger and bolder than me into the studio. So I've been working on that, and these other tools have shown up. And that has led me to this. And now the Kiva studio is about 7 years old. It started out with me as the teacher, the everything, then one person as a staff member, then 2. And now I think we probably have 8 staff. Some teach 1 class a week, some teach multiple classes a week. And how I create my business is so radically different than how I started. And who I am in my life and in my business is radically different than from where I was 7 years ago, where I was 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. And I realized that other people in business could benefit from hearing and learning and practicing these tools. And so last year in January, I created the very first Be Real, Radical Expansion of Abundant Life and Living. So just take a minute, and I'm going to ask you a little question here. What does radical expansion of abundant life and living look like for you? So just think about that for a minute. Radical expansion of abundant life and living. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? If you could be living a radical, expansive, abundant life, what could you choose? What pops up for you? What pops up? Yeah. So I don't know if any words pop for you. What does radical expansion of abundant life and living look like for you? feel like for you? If you could be living a radical, expansive, abundant life, what could you choose? I wonder. That is the muscle that I choose to create. That is the muscle that I choose to be. Radical expansion of abundant life and living. So that every choice I make is expanding me into even more awesomeness. Every choice I make is expanding me into an even more abundant life, even more joy, even more ease, even more freedom, even more wealth and prosperity. If I was truly living a radical life of abundant life and living, radical, I would do whatever it takes. I'd never give up. I'd never give in. I'd be radical. I'd be totally different. I would do it different. I would be different. I'd be radical. I'd be bold. I would speak my truth. I would not stop. I would not stop. I would not quit. I would never give up. I would never give in. I would be radically expanding my life, which means I'd be prepared to fail. I would not hold myself back. If I was radical, I'd be like, let's do it now. Sure, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to choose that now. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait until I have this and this and this and this and this all lined up in a big fat line before I actually choose my life. I'm going to be radical. I'm going to choose my future right now. I'm going to be that energy. How does that resonate for you? Expansive. Expansive means never having status quo. Expansive is like a star. Expanding, always, infinite possibilities, expansive. Am I ready to be that expansive? What would I choose if I unleashed my potency on the planet? Potency, expansive, abundance. Yeah, that is what I choose to be. A radical, expansive, abundant life and living. So we often think that there's this work and then there's life. You know, you go home, you go to work. You go to work, then you go home. What I have learned is that you are the magic. You are the beauty. You are the life. You are the joy. You are that. You are the work. It is you in action, in motion. It is you. And so it's a radical thing, and it's an expansive thing to realize that you actually could be making choices and be barriers down and heart wide open and actually choosing to be your authentic, abundant self. And wherever you be, whether you are at work or at home, whether you are with your family or your kids or your neighbors or your ex, you are living a radical, expansive life. But how do we do that? How do we do that? How do we do that? So, excuse me. One of the tools that has really helped me, supported my expansion, supported my willingness to be radical, to be different, to be me, is staying in question. And I've studied with Access Consciousness. I'm a certified Access Consciousness bars facilitator and body facilitator. And I've done other trainings with them. And in all of my counseling background and all of my therapies that I've studied and all the modalities that I know, what I really, really appreciate are the tools that Access Consciousness offers, which are so simple and really landing in question and not jumping into any type of conclusion, but staying in choice and staying in question and staying in possibility. So, one of the tools that really helps me every single day to create my life, and my business is one of those things, is what could I be or do different that would create more here? I'm going to write that in the little sidelines here. What can I be or do different that can create more here? What can I be or do different that can create more here? What can I be or do different that can create more here? So thinking about something, so maybe Nikki, if there's something popping for you, a question that you have, or whether it's something in relationship or work or family, if there's something that's poking you or a question you have, you can drop that. Oh, sorry about the yawns. You can drop that in the feed if you want. Or if there's other questions that are popping for you as a result of this conversation, you can drop that in the line, in the questions. And then I can move that forward for us. What can I be or do different that can create more here? So I'm going to give you a minute. I'm just going to grab a coffee. I'm going to move this for 30 seconds. There we go. There we go. That's a beautiful painting my parents got in China. All right. What can I be or do different that can create more here? So that question helps me with almost everything. So if you think about a challenge that you're having, this morning, case in point, this morning, that's why I'm yawning. This morning at 5 a.m, I was called. I'm a power of attorney for a gentleman who's about 86. And my phone rings, and he had fallen and sliced open his head and needed to go to the hospital for stitches and things. And there's often a lot of drama and trauma and crazy in hospitals and around the medical system and aging. There's tons of points of view about that. And so, waking up early and getting awakened out of bed can kind of, startle your day. And I just stayed in that question. What can I be or do different that can create more here? I didn't know what I was walking into when I went into the hospital. I didn't know what type of state he was going to be in, or maybe the emergency room is going to be super busy. No idea, but I stayed in that question. What can I be or do different that would create more here? What can I be or do different that can create more here? What can I be or do different that can create more here? And as I kept asking those questions, my body just became more and more relaxed, more and more at ease. And then I'm ready to listen for the answers or the insight or the awareness that shows up. And awareness shows up like a whisper. Awareness shows up like butterfly kisses. Awareness shows up just like a whisper on the wind. But when I stay in question, there's a part of me that's just waiting to hear that. What can I be or do different that will create more here? I can be easy. I can be peaceful. What can I be or do different that can create more here? There was a great delay in the hospital, and we were not really getting the attention that this gentleman was wanting. He wanted to talk to a doctor sooner than later. And so I asked again that question, what can I be or do different that would create more here? And then the insight came, be a presence. Be a presence. So I walked out into the hallway and I just became a presence. Not angry, not upset, not pushy, not rude, not drama, no trauma, just a presence. Hi. Yes. Be light. Yes. The presence. And then what happened was we ended up getting 3 doctors showed up in his room, and he had 4 doctors, actually 3 doctors and 1 medical resident doctor. So at one point when we had no one, then all of a sudden we had every single doctor, I think, in the whole town was there. And so when we stay in question, we no longer lock ourselves down in how something should be and then get stuck, but we stay open into possibility. So I'd invite you, Nikki, to think about, because it's just us, so you may as well take advantage of your time with me, babe. I'd invite you to think about, we have about maybe 5-10 minutes left. And I'll talk a little bit about more of the retreat itself, but think about either your business or your life, your work or your life, and what is something that is calling you or poking you, or a question you might have of this radical expansion of abundant life and living, of somewhere you'd like to go, like in a way you would like to be, but a way that you're not being. I'm not sure. You're curious. So if you have a question, this is a great time to just pop it in the line. Let me know. Oh, look, this call is brought to you by Burger King. That is not true. That is not true. The slurping, though, the slurping is brought to you by Burger King. Absolutely. I'm going to slurp some more. So yes. So what questions do you have, Nikki, about you? It's just us. Whether are you looking into something connected to work, or is it work? Is it relationship? Is it community? Yes, you find it hard to remember to stay in question. Yes, yes. So at this Be Real retreat that we're doing in January, it's January 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. It will be really deep, beautiful, personal time for reflection, for awareness, for clarity. We'll be surrounded by the beauty of the Cypress Hills, which is in and of itself very healing and potent to be out in nature. And you will have some really quality time to have fierce, I call it fierce focus. Some people call it laser beam focus, but I call it fierce focus. If you were fierce, if you were the potency you be, and if you were focused on your truth, what would show up for you? What would you be aware of? If you were not distracted, right? So when you're getting poked or tweaked or getting stressed out or semi-cabobulated or overwhelmed, what sorts of things are distracting you from question? You're saying it's hard to remember to stay in question. So what are you thinking about rather than staying in question? What sorts of things are popping for you, Nikki? I will give you time. I will give you time. One of the things that, one of the tools that I have in my back pocket is Yoga Nidra and Restorative Yoga. I think, Nikki, you know Restorative Yoga too. Yoga Nidra is very interesting because when it comes to our breath work, it only takes 3 minutes of breathing, like really, really breathing, to change the biorhythms of our brain. When we stay in question, we are actually allowing the frontal lobe to soften and to relax. The frontal lobe is this place of our brain that's always on fire, and it's problem solving and trying to figure things out. And the frontal lobe is really fight or flight. I'm going to go, I'm going to come here, I'm going to stay, I'm going to go, I'm going to solve, it's going to work, it's not, I'm going to all this do, problem solve, problem solve, problem solve. That's the frontal lobe. When we land in breath, it's just 3 minutes of intentional breath work. That actually is going to take us away from this action in the frontal lobe and let the other parts of our mind engage. And those parts of our mind, and also the parasympathetic nervous system, is where awareness reside. So a lot of these tools that I have, that I use in my business and in my life, such as staying in question, such as what could I be or do different that would create more here, it invites this part of my mind which is tapped into awareness, which isn't about a problem. It's about possibility and imagination and creativity and choice and change and power and potency. And it's so fast. It is so fast. It is so fast when it shows up. That's where ease and calm and joy reside. So in our weekend at this Be Real retreat, there's a variety of things you're going to learn. There's going to be some hands-on tools. You're going to have some frameworks you can use. You know, there's lots of people say, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money. So we're going to deal with those two distractors right away. And I'll give you some tools to move through those and to really look at how you want to live your life and how are you scheduling your time and space for you, and how to let go of all your points of view about time and let go of all your points of view about money so that you can receive infinite time and infinite money with total ease. And that might sound a little interesting for you, and I wonder what that can create. So you're going to learn some hands-on tools. You're going to have some time for some real fierce focus about what choices you make, how you sabotage your life. We all do it. We're like, oh shit, I said yes to that again. Why did I do that? I totally know that that totally sucks the energy right out of me, right? So you're going to learn all of these tools. Some are very concrete and tangible. You can implement right away in your life. You're going to have time for fierce focus so you can actually look through and go, really, who do I want to be? What do I want to create? 5 years from now, what is my life going to look like? If you were your own investment, right? We put our money into these RSPs all the time. We don't even look at it. But if you were investing in you all the time, there'd be a clarity of where you want to be in 5 years, who you want to be in 5 years. What are you creating? Who's hanging out with you? What does that look like? So I'll have some tools to guide you through that as well. It does not matter if you have a business or not. It doesn't matter if you're self-employed or not. All you need is you. All you need is you with this calling, this pull, this tug of like, hello, hello. I'd like to choose more, please. It's time for me to be me, please. If you're feeling excited about that, if there's a nudge in you that is saying, yeah, you know what? I think that Be Real retreat is going to be the ticket for me. Then I'd happily chat with you. And there's payment options. We can make it, payment plans to make it work for people. There's all different ways to do that. And you would just drop me an email to let me know about that. And that's welcometokiva@gmail.com if you want to learn more. And I'm just going to make a note here, Be Real Retreat. And that is January 11th to 14th in Cypress Hills. Now, let me check this, Nikki, you were talking here. So when you're around other people, it draws me away from being in question, right? Breathing techniques. I must keep an elastic on my wrist to remind me to breathe. Yeah, I've heard about that elastic thing. Some people are choosing that. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways. There's lots of apps now on people's phones that'll ding and give you, a little reminder for things. A friend of mine just bought a water bottle that actually tells you how much water you've drank, and it'll light up. It has a sensor inside, and it'll light up and cheer and give you a woohoo when you've reached your target or something. So yes, there's all kinds of tools, and And it's really quite simple. It's really quite simple. And, you know, if we stopped limiting our capacity to create our lives, what could we create? What could we create? A friend of mine asked me a couple weeks ago, because the Kiva studio is expanding, and I have, you know, I'm letting go of different points of view I have about all the creations that I'm choosing and all the things that are happening rather quickly. And she said to me, she's like, well, Christine, would you rather, you know, Kiva fail royally as fast as possible, or do you want to slowly, like, try to survive, like try to linger it on as much as possible? And it was really clear to me. It's like, well, no, I mean, if it's gonna fail, let's just do it. Let's go hard, let's go big, let's go. So rather than playing small, turn it up. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, Nikki. And these little baby steps. I will often tell people, you know, it's small, consistent action in the direction of your dreams. And yes, perhaps those are baby steps. But what if you amped it up? What if you took actually 3,500 baby steps a day instead of 2? And maybe you have 12 projects on the go instead of 1. So that truly you are amping up your life. And then we'll stop complaining. Then there'll be nothing to complain about because we're actually just creating our lives. When we sit on the couch and just think about our life, well, then we bitch, then we complain, then we become unsatisfied because we're not creating anything. We're creative creatures. We are born to create. We have human will. We have creation. We're potent. And we get so agitated and grumpy when we're not actually choosing us. Oh, I feel crappy. Why? Well, I just hung out with so-and-so, and God, I have a stomach ache, and every time I'm with them, all they do is complain about this and that and the other thing. I hang around with complainers and naysayers. Okay, well, why are you choosing that? When I'm around other people, it sucks the life force right out of me. Okay, well, what else could you choose that would create more here? What could you be or do different that would create more here? Maybe you walk into the party with headphones on. Maybe you put on your best sexy dress so you are the life of the party and not drowning in everyone's drama and trauma. It's fun to play in your life. It's fun. You're feeling pulled. Oh my God. Thank you, Nikki. That is so exciting. Isn't that so interesting, the timing of things, right? Yeah. You were stuck on creating when you said to make a list. Yeah. And you know, at the studio, people will come in for all kinds of things. Like sometimes they come in for dance classes, fitness classes, Zumba, meditation. And what is so interesting about the human condition is we dismiss our awesomeness all of the time. We do not celebrate our greatness. We accentuate our faults. People will come into the studio and they'll say, oh, I'm really not very active. I'm not a really good dancer. I'm not that flexible. I can't touch my toes. I don't know if this class is for me because I'm not flexible. Like all of these excuses. And I'm just like, you guys, you showed up. That's it. That's all you have to do is show up. That is it. We think that it's hard. We think that, oh, change is going to be so hard. It's going to take so long. And I'm not that creative. And if I have to make a list, if I have to create how I would create my life, oh my God, I don't know, because I'm not that creative and I don't have enough friends. I don't have enough time. And then we're locked in again. So this weekend is really, 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 really going to awaken your potency. That I guarantee. It will awaken your potency. We did this retreat last year for the first time, and there's only about 6 people that are, I only take about 6 people. We have 4 spots left. And we did this retreat last year, and it filled up. And where these people are now compared to this time last year, night and day different. Some of them have had total career change. Some of them have gone back to school and got multiple jobs. Some are working in partnership with other business owners. It is very, very, very dynamic learning, and it's beautiful. You're away from all the distractions of your life. You don't have kids knocking on your door. You don't have your husband or your wife asking you to do this or do that or go here or go there. It's really beautiful. It's beautiful. And you're going to be well fed, well watered. It's so yummy. We have a beautiful caterer who's preparing some yummy food for us. We're staying in these wonderful townhouses and condos. And we are almost at this whole place by ourselves. So we're going to be so chillaxed in the middle of amping up our life, turning it up so we can be real, have a radical expansion. I don't want to change slowly. I want to be the volcano. I want to be the volcano. I want to be the comet. I want to tear up through the sky and be the beacon of my life. This retreat will help you do that. It's going to awaken your awesomeness. I guarantee it. So if you have any other questions, Nikki, drop them in the line. And I would love it if you wanted to come and hop on and join us in Cyprus. There is a special right now. I will find the link. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. So here we go. I'm just going to find the link, and I'm going to post that for you and for anybody else so that you can hop on and find more information about it. But it will tell you, what is going down and when things are happening. But it starts on Thursday, January 11th, and it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. And here is the link. So that's the link to more details. Whoops. About the Be Real business retreat in Cyprus. And that's January 11th to 14th. We actually added one more day to the training. Normally, last year we did 3 days, and this year we added one more day on there so that people had more time for integration, so you weren't really super rushed. And I'm gonna, I think there's gonna be some body healers. Some of my friends are different energetic practitioners, and my hope is they're gonna be coming as well. And so everyone will actually get an individual session with them or with myself or both. So we're working that out also. So you've got some options for your awesomeness and taking care of you. Yeah. Do you have any other questions? Do you have any other questions there, Nikki? I'm not sure if that answered your questions. Are you, for the Be Real retreat that is popping for you and it feels like it's a pull, do you feel like it's a pull personally or work or a little bit both? Like, what is singing to you? What is the pull for you that you would like to receive from the event? Both. Okay, both ways. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. It is very exciting. The retreat's awesome. It will awaken the capacities and the potency of you, which is there. We don't lose it. It just gets, there's a bunch of there's other choices that are on top of our potency. And so, yeah, I will invite you to amp it up and to be big and to be potent and live a radical, expansive, abundant life and living. So Awesome sauce. If anyone would like to talk more with me on the phone, I'm just writing this in our feed here. People can email me. And we can set up a time to chat. So if you would like to do that, Nikki, let me know. And yeah, it does sound super awesome. So what we can do, if that feels okay, if you want, do you want, Nikki, to set up a time to talk on the phone and unplug some stuff and to look at sign-up options and things like that? Because if you would like that, then I can call you after this call. And this commercial is brought to you by Burger King once again. All right. So, my friends, you're going to think, okay, she's going to think for a few more days. All right, well, you think, Nikki. And I just remember that Dr. Dane here and Gary Douglas of Access Consciousness will say, you can't think and be aware at the same time. So just for fun, that is there for you. Yeah. So the other thing that actually, because often what will come up for people is like, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, how am I going to make it work right after Christmas, blah, 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 all of that. What I actually I do myself, another tool, and you can use this on yourself. So if you just take a breath, Nikki, take another breath, take another breath, take another breath. And then you can ask yourself, barriers down, you can ask yourself, truth, if you choose this to go to be real, will it create your life or destroy your life? Truth, if you choose this to go to be real, will it create your life or destroy your life? Truth, if you choose this, will it create your life or destroy your life? And what are you getting? What are you noticing in that one? What type of awareness do you have? And you can ask that question for anything you're actually choosing. Like, if I choose to tell my husband blah, 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 today, will it create my life? If I choose to not tell my husband blah, 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 will it destroy my life? Like you can do both. If I choose to blank, will it create my life or will it destroy my life? Yeah. Create and make lighter. Yeah. Yeah. So if things are light, if things are fun, if things are popping and light and creative, then that's the awareness. That's the awareness of, yeah, this will create my life. This will create more. It feels light. It feels yummy. It feels fun. Yeah. And then our thinking brain will totally kick in and totally try to figure it out of like, how can I make that possible? So, yeah, I look forward to chatting with you, and I'll give you a shout in a couple of days, Nikki, and we can chat more and see what else is possible. And for anyone else who hops on this call now or later who would like to know more, you can again drop me a line in the email. And I invite all of you to stay in question and ask yourself as you're moving throughout the day, what could I be or do different that will create more here in this experience right now? What could I be or do different that will create more here? Cool. Thank you so much, you guys. I will see you on the flip side. The info is in this post here, and I will also post it on my Shining Joy Guru Facebook page. So you have that as well. You can hop on and check this out. And we have 4 spots left. Boop, 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 boop. And maybe 3. Maybe Nikki's going to come. Maybe Nikki's going to come. Hope Nikki comes. But Nikki's going to choose whatever Nikki wants. So I'm going to see you guys later. Thank you so much. Thank you, 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 thank you. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace and joy, love and kindness. Bye.